Imagine you are a lighthouse. Your job, your purpose, your very identity, is to shine. To cast a bright, brilliant, and entertaining light out into the world, so that others can find their way through the darkness of their own bad day. You are the first to make a joke in an awkward silence. The one with the quick, self-deprecating wit that puts everyone at ease. You are the life of the party. The designated mood lifter. The funny friend. And people love you for it. They are drawn to your light. They are warmed by your laughter. But no one ever asks about the storm that rages inside the lighthouse itself. No one sees the lonely, isolated keeper of the light, working tirelessly to keep the lamp burning, even as the waves crash against their own foundation. This is for you. The funny friend. The class clown. The entertainer. The one who has learned that your laughter is your currency, your shield, and your hiding place. Today, we are going to talk about the profound, and often invisible, sadness that lives behind your smile. And we are going to understand that your humor is not just a personality trait. It is a brilliant, and often heartbreakingly necessary, survival strategy. Let's start by dismantling the stage. For the funny friend, every social interaction is a performance. And you are the star, the writer, and the director. Your job is to make people laugh, to make them feel good, to keep the energy light. And you are a master of your craft. But the performance is born from a deep, often subconscious, belief. My authentic, quiet, and sad self is not worthy of love. I must be entertaining to be accepted. This is not a belief you were born with. It is a role you learned to play in the theater of your childhood. Sometimes, you became the comedian because you grew up in a tense or high-conflict home. As a child, you were a master of reading the emotional atmosphere. You could feel a storm brewing between your parents long before the thunder started. And you discovered a magical tool, a well-timed joke, a silly face, a funny story. You learned that your humor could be a powerful de-escalation tactic. It could diffuse the tension. It could lift a parent's dark mood. It could, just for a moment, make the world feel safe. Your humor was not about joy. It was about peacekeeping. You were not a class clown, you were a tiny, brilliant diplomat, negotiating for peace with the only tool you had. Sometimes, you became the performer because you grew up in a home with emotional neglect. In this home, your needs were not met with anger, but with silence. With absence. You felt invisible. And you learned that being your quiet, authentic self was not enough to be seen. But being funny? That got a reaction. A joke could earn you a smile. A silly dance could earn you a moment of attention. Your humor became your strategy to become visible. It was your way of sending up a flare, screaming, "I am here. Please look at me. Please connect with me." Your laughter was your bid for a love that was not given freely. And sometimes, you became the jester to hide your own pain. Perhaps you were a deeply sensitive child, carrying a world of sadness or anxiety inside of you. But you learned, very early on, that your pain was not welcome. That it was too much for the people around you. So you learned to build a shield. You used humor, especially self-deprecating humor, to deflect. You learned to make fun of your own struggles before anyone else could. If you turned your wound into a punchline, it meant you were in control of the narrative. You were not the victim of your pain, you were the witty commentator on it. It was a brilliant way to speak your truth, while simultaneously hiding it in plain sight. And so you arrive in adulthood, a master performer, with a standing ovation wherever you go. But you are living with the profound, unspoken costs of this role. The first cost is a deep and pervasive loneliness. You are surrounded by people who enjoy your company, but you feel completely and utterly unseen. They love your performance, your jokes, your light. But they do not know the person behind the mask. They do not know the quiet, serious, and often sad person who lives inside. And this creates a barrier to true intimacy, because intimacy requires the very vulnerability your humor is designed to protect. The second cost is that you feel you are not allowed to be sad. You feel an immense, unspoken pressure to always be on. If you are having a bad day, you feel like you are failing at your most important job, the job of being the fun one. You don't know how to ask for comfort, because your entire identity is built around giving comfort, through levity and laughter. To be sad would be a betrayal of your own character. This leads to a painful form of emotional invalidation. You have become so good at turning your pain into a joke that even when you try to be serious, people often don't take you seriously. They are waiting for the punchline. When you try to share a genuine struggle, they might say, "Oh, you'll be fine, you always bounce back." They are so used to your performance of resilience that they are unable to see your real, authentic pain. And finally, there is the deep, secret fear of the silence. You are terrified of what would happen if you stopped being funny. If the jokes ran out, if the laughter stopped, what would be left? Would people still like you? Would they find you boring? Or worse, would the great wall of your humor finally crumble? And would the ocean of sadness you have been holding back for your entire life finally rush in and consume you? So how do we begin the brave work of taking off the mask? The goal is not to stop being funny. Your humor is a gift. It is a sign of your intelligence, your resilience, and your brilliant mind. The goal is to make your humor a choice, not a compulsion. It is about integrating the funny you with the sad you, the light you with the dark you, so you can finally be whole. It begins with simply acknowledging the performer. The next time you are in a quiet moment, and you feel that compulsive urge to fill the silence with a joke, pause. Notice the feeling. Is it anxiety? Is it a fear of being boring? Just name it. Ah. There is the performer. It is trying to make sure we are liked and safe. The second step is to test the waters of your own truth. With one, very safe, very trusted friend. Try sharing one small, serious feeling, without a punchline. "I've actually been feeling really sad lately." And then, just breathe. See what it feels like to be met not with laughter, but with compassion. You are gathering new data. You are learning that you might be loved for more than just your performance. Third, you must allow yourself to grieve for the child who had to be an entertainer to survive. The child who just needed a hug, not a laugh. The child who just needed someone to see their tears, and say, "I am here with you." Grieving the role you had to play is what allows you to finally step out of it. And finally, you must give yourself permission to be boring. Permission to be quiet. To be serious. To be sad. To be unentertaining. You will learn the most beautiful truth of all. The people who are meant to be in your life are not there for the lighthouse show. They are there for the quiet, steady, and beautifully human keeper of the light. You are more than your laughter. You are more than your jokes. You are a whole person, with a vast and beautiful landscape of emotions, and all of them are worthy of being seen. The world has had your light. It is time for you to have your own truth. If this video was helpful for you, please show your support by clicking the like button. To continue this journey of healing, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. And if you have a funny friend in your life, please share this video with them. It might be the first time they've ever felt truly seen behind the smile. Thank you for watching. You are allowed to be sad.